is it them or the Chargers that have the best chance? You know, like I'm thinking, I hope we have the odds. Can we take a look at the odds on FanDuel Sportsbook? Like, who has the better chance in your opinion?
Well, listen. First off, all the coaches in the division, this is just like unreal. They've all been to a Super Bowl. A couple of them have won a Super Bowl, obviously. Like this division
It's
has
true.
all of a sudden become super fun to watch with each one of these head coaches and what they've built in terms of culture, what they build in terms of scheme, how some of the offensive minds work. And you look at what Harbaugh does. Like you saw him turn that around, Kay, so quickly, right? And like when you have a team built with a quarterback like Justin Herbert, who's one of the best players in this league, and you really lean into the run. You lean into what Jesse Minter's doing on that defensive side of the ball. You saw what Ladd McConkey did as a rookie and the chemistry the two of them built. And you add Devontae Adams to the mix, and then you add the running back duo. I think Najee Harris change of scenery is huge for him. Omarion Hampton back there. This is a really good team. I think the Chargers do have a little bit better of a chance of dethroning the Chiefs. And I think it's mainly because of what they have at quarterback when you need guys that are elite, right? And Justin Herbert, arm talent wise, ability to run with the football. Remember how much he was hurt last year with the toe and everything through the early portion of the season? Couldn't really move like he usually can. Like that usually sets your team apart. I think we're all waiting for Justin Herbert to take that next leap that we've all been expecting to have happen. And, it was interesting, Harbaugh this offseason going my goal, and I say it to myself in the mirror, I think he said, is to get Justin Herbert to the Hall of Fame. And I think it's a really cool thought process from your head coach, knowing the talent you have at quarterback. And I think that's what separates them from Denver a little bit right now.
I always have, gosh, it's such an interest. I actually hadn't looked at and thought of the coaches just as they are. I think I've been focusing a lot on the NFC North when it comes to coaches because LaFleur is nuking Ben Johnson and he's the hot little number and all of that. And KOC I have really big expectations for the Super. But the AFC West coaches are unbelievable. I know. And then Jim in his second year, what can he do? It's so freaking interesting. And then Pete, I was just with Genty and what's his name? Beck, what's his name? The other Raiders, Beck, the draft
receiver,
pick, and he
looks like a tight end.
He was they're just in on Pete. They love Pete, and I'm they're glowing about him and what he'll be able to do. It's super it'll be fun to watch them try to nuke each other. I have the most. I think the Broncos though. I don't know. I just do. I just feel I have more faith.
Defense is no joke.
I don't know. It becomes do I have faith in Justin versus Bo? For some reason, I like Bo, and nothing against Justin. And I think obviously they're going to run more, help him out. I get all of that. And you said Devontae Adams, Ram. I know that he's not in that division, but I want Keenan back. I want they have Trey Harris. I really enjoy him. It's a great little argument here. And then it's why are we doing it? Let's get the bill and go home because the Chiefs will just run over all of them, and we're doing heavy lifting. Okay. So you feel this is not revenge tour, Patrick Mahomes light the world on fire? You think there's room here? I will say
Patrick's going to do that. Yeah. I mean, if anybody wants a chip, doesn't want to face somebody with a chip on their shoulder, it's Patrick and the way things went in the Super Bowl. I don't know. And I remember coming on here after the Super Bowl, if things went differently and it wasn't the beatdown that it was, I don't know if Travis comes back, right? I think that was a big part of him coming back to the Chiefs because of the way things ended in just such miserable fashion. And remember last time they got mollywopped in the Super Bowl. I was at that one where it was by the Tampa Bay Bucks, and look what they did after that. And so I don't put anything past Patrick when he's got a chip on his shoulder and he's upset about what's gone on. But tackle is still a concern. I do think Josh Simmons is that could be one of the steals. I know this is bias, right? There's a couple diplomas sitting up there, but I will say, talking to enough evaluators, they were if he doesn't have the patella injury, he's towards the top of this draft. And he's one of the most athletic tackles we saw in maybe recent memory in a couple of people's minds. Now, there's obviously some other things that come along with him. And I think landing in Kansas City with Andy Reid's huge, and Andy Heck is their offensive line coach. That could end up being one of the steals, Kay, like they had with Trey Smith, who's on, he's going to be the highest paid guard in NFL history. That was a steal in the fourth round because of medical he dropped, and they get Creed Humphrey, in the second round. They've stolen some offensive linemen, but they've been in desperate need of tackle help. I do think at the skill positions, I think we do forget how high they are on Rashee Rice. Like they think he's one of the best receivers in football.
Mhm.
And you look at what he did in his rookie season. Sophomore year was starting out just like on fire before the injury. And then you still have Xavier Worthy. You still have Travis playing a role. They really like the kid they got from Utah State. What is it?
Royals.
Jalen Royals. I really, really like him. They think he's a lot like Rashee Rice talking to people in that building. Like they got weapons. They want to be more explosive. If they can protect Patrick, I would say, yeah, look out.
Feels like a clip that's gonna let's put this out into the universe that James Palmer is saying the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, 9 straight division titles. This isn't their year. Is that what you're saying? This is the year that they don't win the division?
I think this is maybe their toughest stretch of his career. I would say
Yeah,
that in terms
that's
of
fair.
specifically within the division, definitely the toughest stretch of his career. And we've already seen Patrick, like you saw Brady go through these things throughout his career. And some people shy away from those comparisons. I don't. I've been around both of them. I think they're both wired in a very specific way that they can change their game, Kay, to make sure the team wins. And that's really what they care about more than anything. And we've already seen some iterations of Patrick kind of change as things have gone on. The beginning with Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman and throwing the ball over the field and then leaning on his defense and, doing all these like, I think we've seen him adjust, and I think we're going to get an opportunity to see him adjust again because he thinks he knows, the division is much different than the first part of his career.
Is Rashee Rice good to go? What's going on?
Yeah. No, I think he's going to be really good. I mean, obviously they're taking things really, really slow with what's going on throughout the spring. No need. You obviously have other young guys you're trying to get, some more work with anyways, right? You have other plans for Xavier Worthy that you'd like to expand because man, was he thrust into a bigger role than they wanted to put him in that
Different
first
role.
year. They wanted to limit it. Yeah, they wanted it to limit it. And then Rashee goes down and it's like, no, now you got to do X, Y, and Z on top of what we kind of wanted you to do. I think in camp, like towards that latter part of camp, it's up in St. Joe. I think they're going to be really fun to watch. I'm going to stop by. I think they're going to be really fun to watch. You're going to kind of see some of that explosiveness that they've been searching for that they wanted last year. And then they lose Rashee, they lose Hollywood Brown. And it's like, we can't be the team we wanted to be. They still won a ton of games, but they didn't do it in the manner in which they wanted to. And they're trying to do that this year.